guys, again, it's me here, your Mutton Ryan Emperor here. I'm going to do my reaction for you guys. It is the chapter of one of the greatest badass Queen of Spades, Shayne Baszler. This is going to be about her story, how her was in the Royal Rumble and her was at Mania, at Cecily at Mania. But let's get down to this. Here we go. My favourite Queen of Spades. Like one of my all-time favourite wrestlers. Well, all my favourite all-time female wrestlers. Let's get down to this. Here we go.
I met Josh Barnett at
May
this after party.
5, 2020.
And I was going around and showing everybody card tricks, and I did this card trick that involved the Queen of Spades, and he called me the Queen of Spades forever after that. So, like, I'm standing behind the curtain to get announced for this fight.
If you want to, I can't.
And he's like, oh. And it just kind of stuck. Okay. So. That was it. Easy trick.
I'm a big fan of Shayne Baszler, guys. I'm a huge Shayne Baszler mark. Like
people that are into magic tricks.
Like if I had to say how in any females I would love to meet in real life, it's probably Shayne Baszler. That'd be probably one of them, because Shayne Baszler is badass, and hers bring it just such badass. and to me, I think Shayne Baszler is I think Shayne Baszler is really badass, and I like her story, and I like her chapter of her story. Follow in a July 26, 2020, and a May 5, 2020. And no matter what, I'm always going to be a fan of Shayne Baszler's. Like, just no matter what. The Queen of Spades, I will always going to go for Shayne Baszler. If it's like Charlotte Flair versus Shayne Baszler, I go for Shayne Baszler, because Shayne Baszler is that damn good athlete.
Like, the feeling of that can't be matched in any other type of car.
For me, hers one of the greatest wrestlers of all times.
And then you can't,
and I will literally say that hers is the most baddest heels I ever seen in this planet, and I will literally go with like if
everyone agrees it's badass, and I think that's.
Here's the thing, I will literally go with Shayne Baszler. Shayne Baszler is, I got my respect for Shayne Baszler as a human being, as a athlete, and I think
my dad and uncle were wrestling coaches, so I just grew up on a wrestling mat, going to wrestling tournaments. I didn't care much about it, but I wish I would have, knowing what I was going to do. You know, I got into mixed martial arts at a time where not just women's mixed martial arts, but mixed martial arts in general was not very popular. Man, I think at the height of it, at the time, I was in the top 5, and Dana White announced the first all-women's season of The Ultimate Fighter. So I went and did the tryout, and made it on the show, and I'm like the number 1 seed in the house, and I lost. I lost in the first round. You know, I'd lost before, so it's not like that was a big deal, but it just happened that this loss was like visible to millions now. So I had another fight against Amanda Nunes, who's like arguably the best active fighter in the world right now. Had partial tear in my ACL in the middle of the fight, and I just couldn't continue. And I knew walking out of that fight, like I remember.
I feel like I have to, and I would say this literally, I have to watch all the old Shayne Baszler's matches from UFC. I have to. I don't know, I have to, but July 26th at the Royal Rumble.
Last year, and it was in a similar, it was in like a baseball stadium, and so I'm like putting myself like in the seats where I was sitting to watch, and it's just a weird feeling to think about that, and it was only a year ago. I don't think like all the energy and all that stuff will happen until it gets closer to the time. But
I remember the first time when I watched the Royal Rumble, it was
every time I sit back and think about
like my money was Shayne Baszler to win on that. When I first done my reactions, I thought like, oh, I'm going with Shayne Baszler. I want Shayne Baszler. I want like literally Shayne Baszler to win because Shayne Baszler is, I was her say her is that damn pretty good athlete, and I think hers should have a major big push, and I think her, I would literally say hers, and I would literally say like her, to me, I think her should have an opportunity. Shayne Baszler. It was a hard one. It like I don't know who I was going with, but I was going for Shayne Baszler in my head. Like Shayne Baszler. Like I want Shayne Baszler straight away. But when it was the end of the Royal Rumble, when Charlotte Flair won, it's kind of, I don't like the ending. I really don't like the ending. To me, I think there's so much more.
You gotta go outside.
So much more for Shayne Baszler.
Outside. Oh, good. Yeah. Wait. Let's go. It wasn't that I lost and I ran from MMA. I just didn't love it anymore. Like, not to sound cheesy or cliche, but like Ronda saved my career. If I would have stayed home during that time, it was like a real depressing time for me. You know, the Ultimate Fighter fallout was happening. I had that ankle injury. Life was beating me up. She flew me out to California to her house, and the wheels of the plane touched down, and you turn your phone on and you text your people, right? That's like the thing everybody does. So I text like, "I'm here," and Ronda's response was, "Got you now, bitch. You're never going back." And I was supposed to be there for 2 weeks. My flight home, I'm from South Dakota. The weather's crazy there. My flight home got canceled because of a blizzard. Yeah. And I just never went back.
Ronda Rousey, a former Raw Women's Champion, at February 10th, 2020 on Monday Night Raw. That's when Shayne Baszler bit Becky Lynch's neck. And to me, it's kind of cool. That was a cool moment. I hope Shayne Baszler wins the Money in the Bank. Like, I want Shayne Baszler to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. Because I want... This is the thing. I want... Oh! I remember I first done reaction to this. Oh. Vampire. Kind of cool, but that's Shayne Baszler for you.
There's like things that you imagine a crowd doing, chanting, cheering, booing, but there's a certain type of noise that is a collective group shock. And I don't know. man, maybe it is crazy, but I get a enjoyment out of shocking, and it's my favorite thing when someone has to like, oh, and that's their reaction to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how this is really going to happen.
February
I'm
17th,
in the
2020.
Elimination Chamber match. The winner of that match gets to
And her did.
You.
That's what I like about Shayna Baszler at the Elimination Chamber match. Shayna Baszler eliminate every single woman in that competitor.
But imagine the things that I do have planned. In a lot of ways, this is a better path for me. I have put more man-hours of work dismantling a body in a cage than anybody else has. And that's the bottom line.
Exactly. And I quite agree with that.
I already know what I am and what I'm worth. I think the whole thing about...
And I couldn't agree with more with her. Vince McMahon, if you listen to it, you need to push Shayna Baszler. Please, 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 please. I'm begging you, please push Shayna Baszler, because up to the moon, because Shayna Baszler is that damn good competitor.
I'm the one that got them all into wrestling. And, because I was a big wrestling fan, and so every Monday, and I can't remember, I think it was like a Thursday that SmackDown was on, but I had the TV. That was my time. I arranged my training so that I could be home to watch wrestling, and I would just have it on. And by proxy, these guys all got sucked into the stories and whatever, just because it happened to be on and they got caught up in it. But I've heard interviews and read interviews that Ronda has said that she saw me start pro wrestling even before NXT and saw how happy I was, and she knew she didn't have that in MMA anymore. So she kind of like it intrigued her to try it. So you know, I don't want to take credit and say I'm the reason Ronda started wrestling. It's nothing like that, but I'm the reason Ronda started wrestling.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. At May 2020, on Monday Night Raw.
Behind a curtain to enter a ring or a cage to beat someone up for 18 years now.
That's what Shayna Baszler does. Come here and to destroy.
Either imagined they would feel or that they say they do. The nerves, the excitement. It's like cliff diving.
The Queen.
You just gotta jump. It's become something
of Arms.
with open arms as part of the routine.
Queen of Spades.
First match on Raw, but an injured Asuka, she takes on Shayne. This match is next, live on Monday Night Raw. And there is a history between Shayne and Baszler back to NXT.
Oh. 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 What I don't like about the build up about the match, I just knew at the very first beginning, where at WrestleMania 36, where the build up makes Shayna Baszler look badass and make her look up badass, like even the most, like, just dominant.
This whole area up here for the Oculus. If you really want to see some nerdy stuff, look up Warhammer 40K. And this is like a drawing of it. It's like genetically enhanced space marines.
You damn right.
Fighting.
I'm a big nerd. No matter what, I'm a big nerd of Batman, like Transformers, Roman Reigns, because I'm a big fan of Roman Reigns, the guy underneath the guy.
I'm good at it. The easy answer. The truth is, I think that the puzzle of the human body and how to solve that is never ending. There's never one way. Every person is unique. Every person is different. How a person moves, how a person reacts, what situation does the person extend their arm, all that stuff adds variables, and this is like a Rubik's Cube human.
Yeah.
And I think that the really appealing part to me in that is that solving that Rubik's Cube is really intriguing to me.
Yeah. At May 8th, at 2020, at Elimination Chamber. What I love about the Elimination Chamber, and I've not done my reactions to that, and that was a few months ago, and I literally forgot it. What I love about this, Shayne Baszler dominant every single woman in that competitor, in that roster. And to me, and I would literally say, Shayne Baszler is, and I will literally say this, her damn to deserve that opportunity of that World Women's Champion. And it's just been like, when it was WrestleMania, it's been swiped away.
Showing everybody what it means to be locked in a cage with me, that's not the end of this. That's the end of this. So, it doesn't weigh on me, but it's definitely in my head as a part of the plan. I've learned to not put a timeline on things, and usually that means things will happen eventually. Usually that's something you tell yourself when something isn't happening as fast as you think it should. But I guess the lesson here is don't put a timeline on things. Things can happen exactly right now.
And I would literally have to say,
so important to what's next.
I believe in Shayne Baszler, no matter what. If someone goes one-on-one with Shayne Baszler, I'm with Shayne Baszler. Damn proof. 100%. I'm fully put all my money on Shayne Baszler because Shayne Baszler is that damn good.
The most dangerous stop on the road to WrestleMania.
There is something, a bit of a rush of, I don't know, I don't want to say control, but that's like the best word that's coming to my mind right now. You have absolute control over someone, and there's nothing they can do or say about it. You have it, they had to admit it, everyone saw it, it was just you and them.
Yeah.
That's it. There's a...
Quick pace. Bang, 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 bang. And then that's why Shayne Baszler is done. And that's why inside in that elimination chamber, has dominant every single woman in that roster. Has eliminate every single woman in that roster at the elimination chamber. There is no one who will go compete with Shayne Baszler. And there's a lot of people saying, oh, Becky Lynch beat Shayne Baszler. That was a fluke. That was a fluke at Mania. I was a bit not unhappy with that. I don't like the ending. Yeah, the match was good, but I just want to see, like, Shayne Baszler, her momentum gets higher and higher, get up to that mountain. Be on top of the mountain. And stays in that top of that mountain.
Dominant elimination chamber performance we have ever seen. All roads lead to the Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch.
Everybody that gets into this business, whether they were fans from the time they were a little kid, to whether they just stumbled on it in their adult life and got recruited and started doing it later.
No matter what, I always respect Shayne Baszler. Because this is the thing, guys. Like,
everybody dreams. Whether they...
This is the thing.
Whether they
like,
rearrange their life and make it their goal, or whether it's a passing thought and they're just going to do this for fun on the weekends, everybody thinks about what it would be like to be in that moment.
Yeah.
And I am one of a select few that gets to know what it feels like. I guess if you want to like break it down into layman's terms, professional wrestling is the black belt of what I do under the lineage of my coaching. So, it's not arguing that I didn't achieve one thing and the other. Like,
yeah,
my wrestling is the most visible thing to the world. Just by the nature of what it is. When I started in MMA and during my glory days, it wasn't as visible, even as MMA is now. But all of a sudden, you started paying attention, and just because when you started paying attention, that's what happened. Like, that's not. That's. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I have different intrinsic reasons for why I love professional wrestling that matter to me. And it doesn't matter if they matter to you or to anybody else. They matter to me here now. I think in mixed martial arts, I worried too much that they also mattered to you and that you understood why they mattered to me. And I think, you know, I'm human, so there is that side that
Yeah.
for that at times. But
Yeah, I quite agree. We're all humans.
Stock in the fans' opinion of me like I did anyway.
You're that damn good, and I would say this: her is that damn good, like, opportunity of it, and to me, I am literally proud. Oh yeah, this is where WrestleMania COVID-19, well, WrestleMania 36, when there was no crowd, there was no attendance. May 16th, 2020, Performance Center.
Well, I'm not so far removed from the Performance Center, so I think it's a bit of a home field advantage for me. It sucks that it's WrestleMania, and you know you expect the big things, the pyro and the pirate ship this year, and like all the stuff.
I quite agree with that.
I think the thing that sucks the most is it's very much, I think, for every wrestler, whether we as wrestlers get along or not, we kind of all understand WrestleMania is this family thing. It's a place where everybody brings their family in. They get to see the big spectacle. They get to see their WrestleMania.
I quite agree with Shayne Baszler on that.
So I think that's the thing that's the bummer the most. They practically gutted the whole place and rebuilt it. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm at the Performance Center just like I used to every day at 8:30 in the morning and go to class. It looks nothing like that. It is cool how they changed the arena, like, side design. Sort of better for the red camera and stuff. It's going to be interesting.
And I hope,
it's going to be interesting to see what...
This is the thing with WWE, I hope they go back to normal.
Like, I'm about to step out in this
and I heard a lot of fans going to be back at the live stadiums.
So it's going to be interesting to feel what that pressure is. Can we bring that same energy? Because you will hear every wrestler talk about how they feed off the energy of the crowd. So can we bring the energy of WrestleMania for people now at the time when it's probably the most important to do it? That's the real pressure.
Last time, you and Becky Lynch shared the ring.
I remember this.
That Survivor Series. You probably remember.
This is another thing I disagree on, where they make Becky Lynch badass, but then they make Shayna Baszler look like the weak link. You know what I mean? It makes no sense about that. That's the thing. Like, I just don't understand. Just like whacked in a chair and on the floor.
I think as a locker room, we've all kind of come to realize that this, in some ways, is probably the most important WrestleMania there's been. You know, at a time where
exactly. That's what I love about WrestleMania. You know what, I'm gonna
on the phone with your family, or every
you know, I'm gonna stop there. What I love about WrestleMania, like I'm gonna say this. My heart has always belonged to WrestleMania, no matter what. Every year, I always celebrate WrestleMania. Like, this year at WrestleMania was quite bad. WrestleMania wasn't that kind of good, but it was okay. There was few matches that were good, but there was few matches where they're quite bad. Very bad. Like, just, I know 2 of them was good matches, I named. And there's a few matches and a few storylines that are quite bad, in my opinion. But I agree what Shayna Baszler is coming from, because WrestleMania is supposed to be like all places around. Like, it'd be really cool if like fans, like attendance, where like fans were there, but like where they're in their homes, they record themselves and then just then watch it, and then like on WWE Network or something, and then just like this thing. I always love WrestleMania till no matter what. I love WrestleMania every year, but now I got when it was WrestleMania 36, it did not feel like WrestleMania. You know what I mean? When that kind of pandemic was started, but
time you're getting together at work or with your friends or wherever that may be, all your conversation was consumed with this and what's going on. For a second, for like a glimmer, it's gonna be like not talking about the virus and the world shutting down. And there's no sports on. There's no, you know what I mean? Like, this is
I quite agree.
A time where the mental reprieve is probably the most necessary it's ever been for WrestleMania to go on. It's fitting because all the biggest moments of my career since I've been signed have happened here. So it's such a full circle thing. Think about this. I'm going to be the first female to win a title in the Performance Center.
I totally quite agree.
By the time that day
And it
happened,
failed, and it
and we're all there for Mania, you could feel it. People still took it as a big, important moment. You know, whatever moment was theirs.
Yeah, exactly.
Took it serious. And sure, you could say there wasn't that, like, added anxiety of being in front of like 80,000 people. But it was still like we were very aware that there were going to be millions of people watching, and that this was the only thing people had.
Yeah.
And just the importance of it, you could feel it. We all took it really serious.
I quite agree. I couldn't. And nice jacket. Nice. I love the gold and I just love it. Love the gold. I love the gold and the black. Looks really nice.
It's heavy. It's heavy. Might make your legs tired for our match. There's a certain pressure to game day, certain pressure to fight day. That's a lot more than sparring or practice or scrimmage. How an athlete deals with that pressure is what sets apart the great ones from the average ones.
Yeah.
Some people can't handle that pressure. It's game day, and then even worse, it's championship game day.
I'm gonna pause it right here. This is where the moment where matches were started really, really good, and the ending was a bit. How I would say this. This is where the part where Shayna Baszler lost to Becky Lynch, and it just literally blows to my mind, and it. As a fan of Shayna Baszler, and as a fan of, like, to me, I want to see her momentum. I want to see her push. I want to see her rocket sky high. And it's like, and then everything's been taken away from her, and it's just like, and that's the thing, because like this is where they've been building up for so many months. When it was around about the WrestleMania time, when it built and build, and then it's like, it just all changed. Like, oh, okay, we're gonna make Shayna Baszler lose at WrestleMania 36. And to me, to that day, I will never forget. As a true wrestling fan and a true wrestling mark, I was literally just pissed off in my mind. I was literally just went mad. Just like how it the way it ended, and the way it post end, and it's not the way it post end. And it's like, oh, let's make Becky Lynch still the title, but why? Why is it in? And I hope at Money in the Bank tomorrow at Money in the Bank, and I'm gonna do my reactions of the Money in the Bank, women's Money in the Bank, and I hope Shayna Baszler wins the Money in the Bank and cash in on Becky Lynch, because Who knows? But if Nia Jax wins, I'm just gonna flip out, but like blaming Vince. That's what I normally do, blame Vince McMahon. But here we go.
That's a lot more pressure than scrimmage. It's a lot more pressure than like Friday hard sparring day. Being able to recognize there's an added pressure, and then
I feel like I want,
that's the line.
when it was at WrestleMania, when it was that time, it was the hardest time. But to me, I just don't like. I like the match, but I don't like how the way it ended, where they make Shayna Baszler lost to that championship to Becky Lynch.
Shayna Baszler has made it very clear on Monday Night Raw. She said, quote, "When I take the title from Becky Lynch at WrestleMania,
That's right.
it will destroy Becky Lynch. It is not that complicated."
And afterwards, and they build it afterwards, like, oh, let's make her a dominant champion.
The man versus the cage fighter. Lynch versus Baszler at WrestleMania.
It was a good match. It was a good match, but I don't like how the way it ended. I really don't like the ending.
Puts Baszler on her back.
I don't like the roll up. I really don't like the roll up. I just don't.
Power by Baszler.
It was a good match. It was a brilliant match.
Oh my God! It's driven into
It was a good match. To me, it should be a little bit longer. And look.
Using the rope. Oh, right to the steps.
God, bloody hell, I need a haircut done.
Becky Lynch off the announce desk.
It was a good match. These two women are going at it, but I just don't like how the way it ended. I don't like how it rolled up. What? Not this part where like it's the how it rolled up. See? That's, to me, that's on, might be...
Cover by Lynch. And she is beating Shayna Baszler together.
I don't like how the way that does.
Herself.
I'm not blaming Shayna Baszler, but I just don't like how the way it ended. I really don't. I was pissed off at that moment, that precise moment when Becky Lynch held the title. That's bullshit. I was quite so sorry for Shayna Baszler. I really do. I got my heart felt for Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler deserved to win that title. And we literally say her was damn deserved to win that freaking title.
Your first WrestleMania, did it live up to the expectations?
It's an interesting question, because I want to say it wasn't my original expectation for what a WrestleMania was or what I thought it should be, but it was definitely a WrestleMania, you know? And I think that the real fallout of it, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. In mixed martial arts, there's so many ways. My coaches always used to say that mixed martial arts is the sport, more than any other sport, upsets happen. Like, more often in mixed martial arts, the best guy doesn't always win. I could spend 14 minutes and 55 seconds of a 15-minute fight beating you to a bloody pulp.
Yeah.
I blink for a second and you catch me in a submission, none of that matters. You won. And so I think, you know, that carries over to wrestling as well. Because now wrestling has the added threat of the pinfall.
but I just don't like how the way it ended. I really don't like. Shayne Baszler should have won that WrestleMania.
And I think all it takes is a moment. You know, I could be a pillar to post in the ring, but if I have for a second thought, this is it. That's all it takes. Just a second, and that's all it took.
I couldn't agree more with that.
Is it fair to say that your opponent will be getting a frustrated Shayne tonight?
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this argument that, you know, all of us, me, Rhonda, we all have to deal with this argument that this isn't fighting. They're better than you because this is pro wrestling, and that doesn't somehow add up, or that experience doesn't count. These people have no idea the things that we've been through. There's hardly anyone here that has what it takes to live the life that we lived. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of everyone pretending that they're equal. That's the Shayne that people are going to start seeing. I'm tired of it.
I don't blame you. I don't blame.
Who is going to continue to qualify?
I literally don't blame you one little bit, because I see through the bullshit. I see.
Oh God! Oh my God!
Like I see, like for me, I see like through the bullshit, what is going through, and then and this is the thing, like, it's like when I love professional wrestling because there's so many rosters I love. To this day, I love, like, to this day, it's like just so many women and so many men competing day after day and risking their own necks and lives. So many of my favourites on this channel so far. I don't care if I don't give a damn if WWE wants just how say this,
It was definite
like
mission.
and it's like and this is the thing, I agree,
And that doesn't somehow add up, or that experience doesn't count. These people have no idea the things that we've been through. There's hardly anyone here that has what it takes to live the life that we lived. I'm tired of it.
I couldn't agree more.
Pretending that they're equal. That's the Shayne that people are going to start seeing.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it.
I want to pause it there. I couldn't agree more. Like, I see the more of the bullshit what WWE's doing right now. Because to me, WWE, I don't care if I get copyright from WWE. I don't care if, like, all my videos get claimed by WWE. I don't give a damn, but I always love professional wrestling, and I always I love professional wrestling because I love, like, all the wrestlers of the roster of, like, Shayne Baszler, Ronda Rousey, Roman Reigns, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, The Undertaker, like, The Fiend, but, like, top stars to me, I look up and admiring in life is Shayne Baszler, Ronda Rousey, and Roman Reigns. He used to be Seth Rollins, but, like, if I had to choose three three people I look up to is Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey, and Roman Reigns and The Undertaker. That's it. That's the only four WWE guys. And to me, I will literally say if Monday night, if Money in the Bank tomorrow night, if this is the thing, if they won't give Shayna Baszler the Money in the Bank briefcase, I'm done. I'm done with the WWE. I'm done with their. This is the thing. I always give them second chance and second chance and second chance and second chance, because I always gonna stick up for Shayna Baszler. I always gonna stick up for Ronda Rousey. I'm always gonna stick up for Roman Reigns, because I always agree with Roman Reigns says. I always agree with what Shayna Baszler says. I agree with what Ronda Rousey says, because to me, they're the best wrestlers ever in the world so far, and I quite agree. And I quite agree with Shayna Baszler. I can see it now. To this day, I can see the bullshitting start to slow. It's like kind of like if Vince McMahon won't not purse Shayna Baszler at the Money in the Bank tomorrow night, I'm done with WWE. I'm literally done, because I want Shayna Baszler to get that briefcase and cash it on to Becky Lynch, because Shayna Baszler is, I always say this, Shayna Baszler is damn deserves that title. Shayna Baszler is damn willing to serve that opportunity, and I'm sticking up for Shayna Baszler, because Shayna Baszler is that damn good athlete and has got potential. I don't care if WWE claims this video right now. I just literally say it right here, right now. Shayna Baszler is that damn good competitor. I always gonna go with Shayna Baszler, because Shayna Baszler is that damn good wrestler and her's that damn good in a ring.
We are finding out who is going to continue to qualify for the women's Money in the Bank contract ladder match 3 weeks from Sunday.
I definitely have a side of me that enjoys hurting people.
And it's really good for me to watch. And I love Shayna Baszler, the real life Shayna Baszler, and I love the character of Shayna Baszler.
Enjoys dissecting people physically. Enjoys being able to stand tall over someone.
Yeah.
Have complete control over someone and do whatever I want to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Why?
Everything I've wanted to say, everything I've felt, everything I've wanted to do, I just let it go.
Exactly, and I don't blame you.
A little bit of that to excel at a combat sport.
This Sunday, WWE's corporate headquarters will be ground zero for the most unique Money in the Bank match in WWE history. 6 women will storm the 10-story corporate tower.
That's tonight, tomorrow night.
Full-scale brawl on their way to the roof. It's the most grueling Money in the Bank match ever.
It is.
But as we all know, the risk is worth the reward. What was your reaction when you heard what the concept of this match was?
I would literally say
there's any more advantage or disadvantage than there would be before.
I would literally say Shayna Baszler is damn deserve that opportunity of that Money in the Bank briefcase and cash in on.
Been to the corporate headquarters, and maybe some other girls haven't, so maybe I have an advantage there. But this is not. I'm not looking at it like this changes the game for anyone. It changes the game equally for all of us. So I have the same advantages going in that I did before.
Your dominance is, when you're in the cage, is keeping your opponents close.
You think I'm not going to get close enough to anyone to beat them up? We're all starting at arm's length of each other. Obviously, every match is important.
Yeah.
But the Money in the Bank match is important to me specifically for a couple of reasons. One, it's a redemption. I win this, I beat what, 5 other girls?
Yeah, I want you to win.
That puts me right back where I know I belong, first of all. Second of all, not only does it put me where I belong, but now it's on my terms.
Yes.
If I have the Money in the Bank contract, I choose when that match happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's on my terms. There's no
Yeah.
variables. If there's any variables I don't like, I don't have to do it. That's the importance of the Money in the Bank match. It's not just a contract to a title shot. It's a title shot on your terms.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate control. Hey, puppy. If you think I'm gonna win Money in the Bank, say
hell yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I want Shayna Baszler to win. You're the queen. You're the best in the world. The Queen of Spades.
I think more than anybody else in this match, I have the ability to make it so people can't walk.
I quite agree.
So I think this match ends with everybody else laid out, and I'm climbing up the ladder.
And I quite agree. And this is going to be a spoiler. And this is going to be prediction. And this is going to be a spoiler for a lot of people. Shayna Baszler is going to win that Money in the Bank briefcase because hers damn deserves that opportunity.
Knocked out, or whether they're exhausted from trying. But I'm climbing that ladder, and I'm taking the Money in the Bank.
That's right. And cash it in on your and Shayna Baszler terms.
I'll just say it like this. If I don't win, it'll just be a lot easier for everyone if I do win.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more with Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler needs to win that Money in the Bank briefcase. Because this is the thing. Like, I want Shayna Baszler to win. I want her to win. I want her scratch and claw, climbing up that ladder, holding the briefcase, and it being her terms and her terms only, and her cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase onto Becky Lynch. And that's going to be a spoiler, and that's going to be predict, because Shayna Baszler is that damn good athlete. But who knows? I think I gave you my reactions and my speech and my words about, like, we listened about Shayna Baszler's chapter. But who knows, no matter what, at Money in the Bank, I always going to go with Shayna Baszler. And do not miss out, because I'm going to do my reaction of the Money in the Bank women's briefcase. And then who I am definitely going to win. And my confirmed suspicions, I want Shayna Baszler to win this, because hers that damn deserve to win. I will see you guys later, because all hail Queen of Spades. I will catch you later. Check you later. Catch you.